On October 31st, 1984, at 9:20 a.m., India's first and to date only female Prime Minister Indira Gandhi stepped out of her residence and set off toward her office for a scheduled TV interview. Her residence was located at 1 Safdarjung Road, and her office was situated nearby. Since the two buildings were in close proximity, Indira Gandhi decided to make the journey on foot. Standing between the two buildings, right in front of the connecting gates, were her two trusted bodyguards. As Indira Gandhi approached the gates, one of the bodyguards suddenly stepped forward, gun in hand. Sound of gunfire. He then fired 3 shots at Indira Gandhi. She collapsed instantly, slumping to the ground. The assassin then declared, "For what you have done to us, you deserve to die." At that moment, the second guard present raised his automatic weapon and began firing indiscriminately at Indira Gandhi. Within a matter of minutes, more than 30 bullets were fired into her body. Yet, she was still breathing. She was rushed to the hospital immediately. However, despite the best efforts of India's most skilled doctors, her life could not be saved. When the news of Indira Gandhi's death broke, the entire nation was left in shock. No one could have ever imagined, even in their wildest dreams, that the country's prime minister would be assassinated by her very own trusted guards. What followed was the onset of a horrific crisis across India, a period of turmoil that claimed the lives of thousands of people. In today's video, you will learn why and how Indira Gandhi was assassinated. In 1966, Indira Gandhi was elected as India's first female prime minister. Being a woman, she faced considerable skepticism and disdain from many during the early days of her tenure. Opposition leaders mocked her and dismissed her as a weak leader. They were convinced that her time in power would be short-lived. However, upon assuming office, she began making such effective decisions that she compelled even her staunchest opponents to acknowledge her capabilities. During the general elections of 1971, seeking to garner the support and sympathy of the poor, Indira Gandhi launched her campaign with the slogan, "Garibi Hatao, Desh Bachao," abolish poverty, save the nation. She fought the election battle with unwavering confidence, a campaign defined by this iconic slogan. However, when the election results were declared, the entire nation was stunned. The Congress Party secured a victory in 352 seats. With this monumental triumph, she proved beyond doubt that she was, from that moment on, India's most powerful and popular leader. It was under her leadership that the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971 took place. In this conflict, India inflicted a humiliating defeat upon Pakistan. Nearly 93,000 Pakistani soldiers surrendered to the Indian Army. Furthermore, Indira Gandhi played the single most significant role in securing the independence of Bangladesh. In 1974, under her command, and despite opposition from numerous nations, India conducted a test of its most powerful weapon, a nuclear device, thereby demonstrating its might to the entire world. Within just a few years, Indira Gandhi came to be known as India's Iron Lady. Yet, alongside her successes, criticism from her political opponents began to mount. By 1975, various problems began to surface within her administration, such as widespread railway strikes and rampant inflation. Concurrently, corruption reached an alarming peak. Sensing that her government was losing its footing, Indira Gandhi took a drastic and unprecedented decision. On June 25, 1975, she declared a state of emergency across all of India, suspending all fundamental rights of its citizens. Freedom of speech was stifled, and strict censorship was imposed upon the media. Opposition leaders were systematically rounded up and arrested. Democracy itself teetered on the brink of collapse. The nation remained under this state of emergency for nearly 2 years. However, when elections were finally held in 1977, the public channeled their pent-up resentment through the ballot box. In that election, Indira Gandhi suffered a crushing defeat by a massive margin. The Congress Party also lost in Punjab, where the Akali Dal subsequently rose to power. Yet Indira Gandhi was a politician who did not easily concede defeat. Determined to regain power, she launched a fresh political battle. During this period, she placed a heavy strategic focus on the politics of Punjab. However, due to the lingering fallout from the emergency and the repressive laws enacted during that time, many Punjabis had turned against Indira Gandhi. It was precisely at this juncture that the leaders of the Khalistani movement began to capitalize on the political instability prevailing in Punjab. The Khalistani movement was a demand by Punjabi Sikhs for a separate independent state to be named Khalistan. One of the most powerful leaders of this movement was Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He very quickly emerged as a hero within the Sikh community. Consequently, two parallel governments came to exist in Punjab. On one side stood the Congress government, whose decisions were made by Indira Gandhi and her ministers, and on the other, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale's own administration. He served as judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one. As time went on, Jarnail Singh's movement intensified, and the people adored him. He even went so far as to raise a force of militant fighters. Their sole demand was a separate state. While the Sikhs revered Jarnail Singh as a hero, the Indian government declared him a wanted fugitive. The police launched a manhunt in an effort to capture him. In 1984, the police received intelligence that Jarnail Singh, along with 200 armed militants, was holed up inside the Golden Temple. The Golden Temple is the holiest shrine in the Sikh faith. Jarnail believed that by taking refuge in this sacred sanctuary, they would be safe from any attack. Indira Gandhi, however, felt that if she failed to stop Jarnail, her political defeat in Punjab was inevitable. Driven by this fear, Indira Gandhi made the most fateful decision of her life. On June 1, 1984, thousands of ordinary Sikhs from across Punjab had gathered at the Golden Temple to offer prayers. At that very moment, 10,000 Indian soldiers encircled the entire Golden Temple complex and imposed a curfew within its premises. The military then issued a demand for Jarnail to surrender. However, Jarnail Singh and his militant group launched a counterattack using Chinese-made weaponry. In response, the Indian Army fought back with tanks, grenades, and firearms. The battle began on June 1st and raged until June 6th. During the fighting, the army killed Jarnail Singh. Tragically, countless innocent civilians who had come to worship were also killed in the crossfire. The conflict finally came to an end on June 10th. In the course of this battle, the Golden Temple, the Sikhs' most sacred shrine, sustained significant damage. Furthermore, a great number of ordinary Sikhs who had come to the Gurdwara to pray lost their lives. This military action was codenamed Operation Blue Star. Following this incident, the Sikh community began to view Indira Gandhi with deep hatred. From the government's perspective, it was a security operation. To the Sikh community, however, it was a direct assault on their religious faith. Swearing an oath upon the Guru Granth Sahib, they vowed to hunt down and kill one by one everyone responsible for this act, even if it meant sacrificing their own lives in the process. The primary targets on their hit list were Indira Gandhi, her son and family, army officers, and numerous other individuals. In the aftermath of this event, Indira Gandhi began receiving death threats intermittently. Intelligence agencies advised removing the Sikh guards from her security detail. However, Indira Gandhi believed that doing so would send the wrong message to the Sikh community and would only serve to exacerbate existing divisions. Moreover, Indira Gandhi placed immense trust in her guards. Among them was a Sikh guard named Beant Singh, who had been providing security to Indira Gandhi for nearly 10 years. Yet, following the events of Operation Blue Star, Beant Singh, too, began to harbor hatred toward Indira Gandhi. One day, while sitting in a gurdwara and listening to a discourse alongside his uncle, Beyant became deeply emotional. At that very moment, his uncle, Kehar Singh, remarked, "Why are you so despondent? Take revenge." It was then that Beyant Singh made a firm resolve. He would assassinate Indira Gandhi, come what may. A short while later, Beyant confided his plan to another of Indira Gandhi's Sikh guards, Satwant Singh. Satwant Singh, too, had been incensed with Indira Gandhi ever since Operation Blue Star. The fire of vengeance burned within him as well. Consequently, without a second thought, Satwant Singh joined forces with Beyant. They selected October 31st, 1984, as the day to carry out their deed. On the morning of October 31st, one of the two guards, Satwant Singh, feigned a stomach ailment and arranged to be posted at the gate situated near the restroom. Thus, executing their plan precisely, the two men took up their positions side by side at the gate. This particular gate served as the connecting point between the Prime Minister's office and her official residence. At 9 a.m. on October 31st, Indira Gandhi was preparing to give an interview to a British actor who intended to produce a documentary about her. Since the location for the interview was situated in close proximity to her office, Indira Gandhi decided to walk there on foot. The clock had just struck 9. She was mere moments away from arriving at her destination when, along her path, Indira Gandhi's eyes fell upon her longest-serving security guard, Bent Singh. Just as before, Indira Gandhi looked at him and offered a namaskar accompanied by a gentle smile. But today, Beyant Singh was in a completely different mood. There was no trace of a smile on his face, only rage and silence. In the very next moment, Beyant Singh drew his service revolver and, without uttering a sound, fired 3 shots in rapid succession. Struck by the bullets, Indira Gandhi slumped to the ground. As she fell, she uttered just one phrase, "Bent, what are you doing?" Seeing Indira Gandhi wounded, Satwant Singh panicked, but Beyant Singh rebuked him, saying, "What are you staring at? Shoot!" Thereupon, Satwant Singh raised his automatic weapon and opened fire. According to the medical report, a total of 31 bullets were fired at Indira Gandhi. 30 of those bullets struck her. 23 bullets passed clean through her body. 7 bullets remained lodged within her body. Upon hearing the sound of gunfire, security guards stationed nearby rushed to the scene. They surrounded Beyant Singh and Satwant Singh from all sides. However, the two men dropped their weapons and surrendered. Smiling, they declared, "We have accomplished exactly what we set out to do. Now you may do with us as you please." Yet despite their surrender, the police shot Beyant Singh dead on the spot, while Satwant Singh was taken into custody. Meanwhile, despite her gunshot wounds, Indira Gandhi was still breathing. She was rushed immediately to Ames Hospital, located 4 kilometers away from the site of the attack. The country's most eminent doctors began treating Indira Gandhi. Outside the operating theater, Sonia Gandhi wept inconsolably. At that time, Rajiv Gandhi was away in West Bengal, campaigning for the elections. By then, many Congress leaders had also arrived at the hospital. However, their expressions betrayed more than just grief. A palpable sense of panic was clearly visible among them. They feared that if Indira Gandhi were to die, the entire nation would be engulfed in flames. Despite their strenuous efforts, however, the doctors pronounced her dead at 2 p.m. And so, the very outcome the government had dreaded came to pass. Out of fear, the authorities withheld the news of Indira Gandhi's death until the evening. But the moment her death was officially announced and the public learned that 2 Sikh assassins were responsible, anti-Sikh slogans immediately erupted across Delhi. Mobs began hunting down Sikhs and beating them to death. They were dragged violently off buses and shot. Their homes, shops, and all their property were set ablaze. As the news spread, the riots intensified. Gradually, This fire of violence spread across the entire nation of India. In Delhi alone, approximately 2,800 Sikhs were killed, while across India, the death toll exceeded 8,000. According to one report, leaders of the Congress Party were directly responsible for this anti-Sikh violence. Within just 3 days, nearly 20,000 Sikhs were forced to flee Delhi. On one hand, riots raged across the capital. On the other, the final rites of the nation's first female prime minister were being performed. But the most astonishing fact is that just 1 day before her death, Indira Gandhi delivered a speech during an election campaign in Bhubaneswar. "I have no concern as to whether I will be alive tomorrow or not. I have been able to serve India throughout my entire life. I am proud of this. If I were to die today, every single drop of my blood would make India even more vibrant and strong." Yet, on that day, no one knew that these very words spoken by Indira Gandhi would become a reality on August 31st, 1984.